So now, all of your screens should be off for just a moment. You should pay attention to what I'm doing, because I'm going to try and do this a little differently than we've done. So right now, what I would like you guys to do is I would like you guys to place a polygon, all right, the polygon that I'm showing you right in here, okay, onto your screen. But I want you to put it at a position that is off of the main grid. So I want you to, this is important that you pay attention to the verbal instructions, okay? So I want you to place that object at a point where it is just off the main grid. So if I was going to be more specific, I'm going to say that I want it somewhere about right there, okay? Now, I want you to also figure out how to take this thing and have it create a square. So a square is a polygon, right? But this thing produces things that can be 3 sides. Can't produce a 2-sided figure, sorry. But it can produce a triangle. It can produce a square. It can produce a pentagon, a hexagon, and so on and so forth with lots of gons. Right? And no, we're not gone. So if you take a look right there, you can see that it's creating a hexagon. All right? Now, what I'm asking you guys to do, right, is to draw upon your memory from what you've already learned in the prior 4 classes, right? And I'm asking you to kind of look through this thing and see what it's expecting, okay? So some of you will do this in 30 seconds. Some of you will take 10 minutes. So let's just assume it's going to take a maximum of 10 minutes and go.
I was going to ask, does it also produce an Alex gon?
Does it produce an Alex gon?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. No, it doesn't produce an Alex. So I'm going to pause this video and then we'll continue with it. All right, so I'm going to give you a little bit further instructions, okay? So again, this is getting you guys to sort of practice what you guys have already been doing. So I want 2 things now instead. I changed my mind. I had no idea. Okay, so I want you guys to create a movable plane somewhere in the positive XY quadrant, and I want you to create a separate fixed plane, okay, over in the positive X, negative Y quadrant. No, negative X, positive Y quadrant. So look where I'm pointing. So this is the positive quadrant. This is the negative positive quadrant. So that's approximately out there is where I want it. And then I want another one that moves around over here. Okay? Okay, so just I want to be clear on a couple of things, right? One of the 2, so if I zoom in, right, one of the 2 is adjustable. So it can move, right? The one that's over here in the positive Y, it goes as far as the Y, and it goes back to the origin. All right, and I want you to be able to make it to where it can slide to that corner, right, of the XY plane. Look up here. You're looking at the screen. If you're looking at the screen, you're not listening to what I'm saying. The other one doesn't move. It's just there. And I've already told you that I want that geometry to start in Rhino and then go to Grasshopper. Okay? Okay, so here is the 2 ways that I've kind of asked for. One of them is a point. It starts in Rhino. So you go to Rhino, you click a point, you put it wherever you want. Then you come over to Grasshopper and you go to the params tablet and you look for point. And you draw point and then you right click and come down to set 1 point and then select the point you want to set. Okay? So that's that. So I'm going to delete this and that point I'm going to delete. Okay? Now, when you have a coordinate, a location in space, whether it's an adjustable one or one that you fed into Rhino, then you can set an XY plane on it to operate on. Once you have set the XY plane on it, right? Then you can feed that plane into the polygon component, and it locates the polygon there. So the other things that you were supposed to be able to do, I think most of you were able to do that, is to figure out what radius means. So I made my radius so that it was from 3, which was the smallest, or 1, which is the smallest, to 10, which is the biggest. Okay, you can see it moving over there. I also made a number slider, so pay attention up here. I made a number slider that would give me a triangle, a square, a pentagon, a hexagon, whatever the 7-sided version is, and an octagon. Sectagon? I don't know. How do you say, what's 7, Latin for 7? 7.
Septagon,
No. Okay, so that's what I made it for. What we want is we want a square, so we're going to take it back to 4 sides. Okay? So that's basically the beginnings of one of the two little directions we're going, and then this is the other one. This one allows us to move it any point we want to in the positive XY quadrant. This doesn't matter, except that this was one of the things that we started out learning, and I need you guys to remember what you guys have learned. Okay? All right, same thing occurred here. This constructed a point. It's a movable point, but I dropped the plane on top of that point, right? Then I fed that plane into the polygon, and I made the same thing, the polygon adjustable from from diameter of 8 to tiny, right? And I made it to where the number slider would create everything from 3 to 8. Okay? Any questions about that? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this video. So if you guys can please replicate that. And before I close the video, I want you guys to be aware of something. I told you that one of the assessment methods that I'm going to do is going to basically have you be able to recall how to do something, and then you're going to be given a fixed amount of time to do it, right? And then you're going to submit it. So it's really important that you guys go back to the prior lessons. I'm recording as much as I can in video, and remember how to do things. Okay?